Josh Brooks, you're going to be competing in TT for the first time this year. How much are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's going to be a great experience for me, I think. Obviously, I can't expect too much for results, which I'm normally, trying to compete for in my regular racing. But it's definitely going to be, a big change to what I'm used to doing, and that's sort of, it's bringing an excitement to the challenge, because I've been racing bikes for years, and I've tried all different disciplines, from dirt bikes and trials and stuff like that. So nothing's really new in the motorcycle industry for me anymore. So to jump on the roads is like a whole new discipline of motorcycle racing. So it's quite a great experience.
When did you first decide TT was something you wanted to do? Has it been a long-held ambition or relatively new?
Definitely a new thing for me compared with a lot of the other riders that currently compete. I think, I know for sure that I hadn't really ever considered it, even on the plane ride over for my first visit in 2009. It wasn't something I was thinking about doing, but an hour later, when I was walking into the paddock and walked up and watched a couple of bikes come down through the start-finish area, I was just like, how have I avoided an event like this for so long? I just got such a buzz instantly of being there, and straight away started thinking, this is something I'm going to end up here doing this and racing this. So it was literally a matter of walking into the paddock, and it was spare of the moment.
So obviously you're with one of the best outfits. Taz Racing have an incredible record around the mountain course. They've got the backing of Tyco, and obviously they've got the full stable of Suzuki machinery. Do you think you've got the equipment to do the job?
Yeah, definitely. That's why one of the reasons why I was so interested and pushed hard to get it to happen now is because I'm with a team that's got all the experience you could ask for. It's as a newcomer, there's going to be a lot of grey areas for me that I'm not really confident in. I can learn the track as good as I can and know where it goes, but there's a lot of other stuff and other elements to this event that like wind direction, weather changes, and bike setup and stuff like that. Which, if you went with a team that didn't have the experience in this event, you'd find it very difficult. So there's a lot of areas where I think the team can definitely benefit me, and I find obviously their equipment is good enough to win. It's just going to be a few years before I'm in a position where I could win. But I've got the best team around me to give me the best education in my first years of learning the place, and then we'll see where it goes on in later years.
They say that it takes about 4 years for a good rider to be mixing it for a podium. Is that sort of long-term ambition you have, or is this going to be try it once and if you don't like it, move on?
Well, I know my character and the person I am, so I don't think it's going to be something where I'll just rock up, do it once, and it's going to scare me and I'll go away. Of course, if that does happen, I'll have to accept that it's not for me, and I'll continue to do short circuit racing as I always have done. But as I said, I know my character, and I think it's going to be something I want to come back and do year after year. And until I've actually been out and raced the track, I can't really, predict where I think I might be able to finish or where I think I might be able to get to in the future. So I think this first year is going to be the one to sort of decide on and make judgment about how quickly I can get to the front. I mean, I'm really enjoying the energy that surrounds this event, and obviously the locals are right behind it. It's part of their life, and me being fairly high ranked in British Championship, to come and do it seems like quite a big deal, and I'm sort of taking that up whilst it's there. I'm enjoying that people are interested to see how I go, and a lot of people want to ask a lot of questions about why I want to do it, because it's not the normal program for most people to go from short circuit racing to roads. So there's a lot of great questions, and I'm enjoying that people are interested and want to follow my as I go through it.
This year I'm riding for Marks Bloom Racing Suzuki again. It's my 4th season with them now, so just well prepared for it hopefully, and have a good go at it.
Bought my own 600 Kawasaki there for both the Super Sport races, and had quite a bit of help off Dave Molyneux with it and stuff, and just see how it goes. Really, should be good.
So what are your expectations for this year, building on experiences of last year's?
Well, I'd like to get on the podium really. It's not far away, and we've been pretty close other times. It's just not had the luck really, so be nice to get that, and whatever else comes will happen.
What are your hopes for this year as well?
Don't know, just see how it goes, but just go out and go for it and see where it gets me really.
Obviously you've got to focus on what you're doing yourselves, but what sort of attention are you going to be paying to each other's performance and how you're getting on?
To be honest with you, we'll both be busy doing our own thing, so I mean obviously sort of we'll be keep an eye out on each other and see how each other are getting on, but as you're doing your own thing, so it's not really an issue.
Yeah, well, at the moment I'll just be Dan's obviously a bit ahead of me at the moment, but I'll just plug away and won't really be concentrating on him as such, but just go at my own pace,
You've both grown up with the TT and seen it through lots of years, and now you see this sort of event that we have here. There's loads of people come over for it. There's events where hundreds of people are turning out to see people, and tonight the event at the Villa Marina is going to be streamed out live, and we're expecting thousands of people to be watching it all over the world. How do you feel about the way that the event has grown in the last few years?
Yeah, it's obviously got more exposure, year on year, and it's got to be good for the event, so it's and all the riders involved. It's just it's being a Manxman. It's really good to be part of the TT, and it's enjoyable 2 weeks.
Well, it's a bit more high profile than the Manx and that what I've done before, and that's my first one. It's a good atmosphere in that, so I'm looking forward to it really.
What races I'm going to be racing in? Every one of them, I think. The 2 Super Sport races with Padgett, the Super Stock race with Padgett, the 2 Superbike races with Honda TT Legends, the electric bike with called the Shinden Mugen thing, which should be exciting. They're predicting incredible lap times with that at the moment. The emails I'm getting, I'm thinking, you want to be riding it. But no, it's good. And this CB500 mini twin race as well, so it's going to be a busy boy.
You obviously had some pre-season testing. You were out at the weekend at Brands, and that was pretty impressive performance by anybody's standards. Do you feel you're as well prepared, perhaps better prepared this year for the TT than you ever have been?
Probably not better prepared, just the same prepared. You know, it's what I've been doing every year that's actually been working for me when I get to the TT. You know, it's I feel strong, I feel bike fit. You know, I've done loads and loads of laps. And you know, it's I'm a bit of a creature of habit, really. You know, you can't sort of fix something that's not broken. What's working for me at the moment is just carries on through the year, and we come to the TT and we just get stuck in. You know, the bikes are good enough, team's good enough. They're all well enthusiastic about it. They're all looking forward to coming across. I am too. So yeah, as far as preparation goes, it's good. You know, behind the scenes, the boys are working flat out with the bikes, and you know, we're all good. Basically, we just got to tip some petrol in that Honda down there and just put some new tyres on it.
So on Sunday in that Superstock race, late deal to go and do it, late decision, and what was it, 17 laps you were in the lead there, you had 2.5 seconds of 1 point. 21, okay. Were you surprised by that?
A little bit, yeah. I really was, yeah. I mean, it's always hard at that level, you know. There were 60 riders out in qualifying. We had to have 2 sessions, you know, Group A, Group B to qualify, and then there was 1 second in the top 28. So that's how competitive it was. And you know, I went there with no pressure and just went there to have fun with Clive and the family. You know, we went down to Peppa Pig World on the way down, and went to see HMS Victory with Ewan. So it was a laid back sort of trip down that end of the world. We went to Brands, and you know, I went out in the first session. I was P1. I don't know why, it just felt good. You know, one of the things that I put it down to is I'm really, really experienced. I've done so many laps around Brands Hatch, where the younger ones, it just takes them a while just to, you know, they sort of catch me up. But at 3 or 4 laps, I was bang on the pace and just circulating around, and really started enjoying it. And you know, I led the race for 21 laps out of 24. So and it felt fantastic. It's the first time I've led a race since 2001 at the British Championship level. You know, I won a race at Croft, but it was just because the 2 got tangled up at the last corner. I just went over the line to win. You know, I've never been out front of a BSB race, so it felt fantastic. But yeah, just to get a podium at that level at this stage, you know, it's good. Awesome.
So obviously you'll have that, you're going into the bold doors, it's all going to help build the confidence, but when you get there, you line up for the Superbike race at the TT, you're going to have Michael Rutter on the same machinery, you're going to have Michael Dunlop, who's obviously one of the emerging names, line up on the same machinery as well as all the usual suspects. You've been largely unbeatable on Superbike for years. Do you think you're going to be able to hold on to it this year?
Yeah, I believe that. I believe I can be running at the front. But you know, I probably wouldn't be doing it. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, when David Jeffries was racing here, he just lifted the bar to first 125s, 26s, 27s. I did it 28, 29s, 30s, 31s, and you know, Michael could jump on the bike. Michael Dunlop do 133 mile an hour, and we might not even see where he's gone. We don't know till we actually get here. But you know, I feel good enough. I feel strong enough, and it'll be good to keep me on my toes having 2 real competitive teammates on the same bikes. And you know, we've all got equal opportunity. All the bikes are the same. You know, all the data from each of the riders is all we can use it all. So it'll be good. You know, but I'm not worried about it. You can only do what you do. You know, when that flag drops, I'm going to go as fast as I can for 6 laps, and that's it. You know, you can't wave a magic wand and go faster. Just have to see what happens.
Talking about racing that bar, you may not even thought about this, but mathematically, this TT, you could equal Joey's wins record. You're in 7 solo races. Has that something that's even occurred to you, and what would it mean to you when that number comes up?
If I win 7 races, I'll do a nude streak, right, from the start line. I won't run very far. Can't run very far. But no, it's not going to happen, is it? There's no chance. It only happens in a lifetime, innit? When Hutchie won 5, it was incredible. But I don't know. I don't think about the Joey thing. The only time I think about the Joey thing is when you guys drill it into me about the Joey thing. I don't actually think about it. It's just another TT race to me. But I mean, if you said if you started your career right now and you said, right, you're going to have 7 wins at the end of it, you'd sort of take it, wouldn't you? You'd be happy with that. But to get 7 on top of what you've got, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. You never know.
One thing that has happened over the last couple of days is it's been announced that a section of the course is going to carry your name. So you're joining other greats there. Difference being, of course, you're still competing on it. How emotional is it going to be the first time you go past there in practice, full speed, and through your own corner?
It's that fast and that committed. I'll probably not be thinking about anything in my pants. Yeah, it is. It you know, it's the ultimate accolade for me. You know, the ultimate honour, without a doubt. You know, I mean, this place, I adore the place, and they're so passionate about the track. And you know, you read the books, you've watched the tales, and they've heard all the stories, and you know, and all of a sudden, you know, they're going to have to change the map now. You buy a map, it's going to be wrong because you're going to have to stick me and Molly's corner on it. So, you know, that's going to be the proudest bit when I actually see it in writing on a map. But and then get on the track in a couple of weeks. But I was emotional, to be honest. I was nearly in tears up there when we unveiled it and stuff. And you know, I never thought I'd be sat here with a corner named after me. And when I'm gone and generations are gone, it's still going to be McGuinness. It's always going to be talked about. And you know, it's when you're learning the course as well, it's good for people to say, you know, you know where you are on the track. You know, I went through McGuinness. You know, I'll be sat there. That's my corner, so I'll be proud as buggery. So yeah, no, it's just fantastic. You know, it's really good, and like they've pinged it out today to the world, and millions of tweets, and families been on the phone. Everybody's well proud and really pleased that this has happened. So yeah, awesome.
This year, coming into 2013, I'm going to be riding for my own team, which consists of me riding a Honda Fireblade in the Superbikes, a ZX10 in the Super Stock class, and I'm going to be riding for Valmoto on an MV675 in the 600 Super Sport class.
It's an interesting mix of bikes there. It's going to bring you some reliability and some perhaps less reliable moments. Is that your view of it as well?
Coming into it, I think you know, we all know the Fireblade's a capable package around the TT. The ZX10 in Superstock form, you know, Michael's had a lot of success in the past on that, so Dunlop. Not worried about them two bikes at all. The MV Augusta is just the new unknown, and you know, we know it's going to be fast. It's reported to be good, stable, and everything else. The reliability on the mountain course on it. With any new brand coming to the TT, or new motorcycle, I should say, not new brand, you know, its heritage is fantastic. The MV, can it withstand the 4 laps of what the mountain course is going to chuck at it at such prolonged high revs? And reports coming back are good, but it's unknown at the minute. So fingers crossed a little bit, but I don't think we're praying and we're on a bit of a wing and a prayer. I think we've got a good package.
You've got the experience, you know your machinery, you're looking after your own team. Obviously there's a lot of guys out there who are hungry for it as well. What are your realistic expectations for this year?
I'm coming into this year, as I go into every year, obviously we're trying to get the best results we can, but I feel I've you know, been let down either by myself or machinery in the past. I think I'm capable of getting on the podium in every class with a bit of luck. Whereabouts on them steps, I don't know. Obviously we're all aiming to get on the top step, but I feel each bike and myself are capable in each race of standing on the podium with luck on my side.
TT's obviously grown in stature even over the years that you've been with it, and yesterday you had the opportunity to meet some of the fans. Again tonight the fans will be out in force for the Villa Marina party. How does it feel to be part of that and to be able to meet the fans and share it with them?
The fans at the TT, you know, they're fantastic. You know, it's not a cheap trip to come over here. You know, get the ferry across or a flight over, the hotels, come and watch us ride our motorcycles. You know, they're passionate about it. We feel that they love it. The road racing, you get close to the fans, and they get close to our racing, and you know, it's real warming, and it's nice to know that that there's so much behind us.
Run for Milwaukee Yamaha, doing all the international roads, and. Yeah, I'm doing the World Endurance as well for Mako Racing Team, another Yamaha. Yeah, so busy year ahead.
Obviously it is a new team. How did that decision come about?
When I realised realise I wasn't going to get it right. No, it's nonsense. It just sort of came around towards the end of the season. Things were starting to shape up, and it sort of went quiet for a little bit. And I thought, well, I've got to have a seat for next year. So I started looking around, and thankfully Sean Muir and his Milwaukee Yamaha squad gave me a place in their team and gave me a ride for the year. So well grateful.
And you're partnered with William Dunlop this year, and he's obviously young and hungry as well. Is that going to be a motivation, or is it going to be a problem within the team to have two people who are both at the top of the game, both want the same thing?
It's certainly not going to be a problem. I think we're going to spur each other on, especially if one goes faster than the other, which is bound to be the case. If he beats me, I'm just going to pat him on the back and say fair play, but I think it's going to be a healthy competition.
The last few years have produced frustrations and worse for you. I mean, nothing as frustrating as last year, where you had to sit on the sidelines with a relatively minor injury, but one that kept you off the bike. So, putting that behind you, what are your expectations for this year?
I want to win. I need to win, really. This comeback's taken a while, and I want to make an impression, really. Again, hopefully. As I say, that everything's there to make it happen, so I've just got to do it. But it's not going to be easy.
And you've grown up with the TT around the road racing. You've seen the TT through everything it's been through, and here we are now. International media here. You've got a film crew following you around. We've got hundreds of people come along to see the riders tonight. How does it feel to be part of the TT at this point in its lifetime?
It's brilliant. It's such a, growing up around it, lived and breathed the whole thing all my days of being here on sunny Ramsey. So growing up and seeing it's going from strength to strength from its bad patch a few years back. It's very, very positive, and I can't wait to see it succeed in the future as well. And if I can help out make it a better event, then so be it. And I'm really looking forward to being part of it this year. I think it's going to be a great show, and you might see some records tumble, I don't know.
What changes for this year? Bike-wise, nothing really. We've, as you know, last year we rode for Nick Crow's team. Nick's now stood down and decided he's going to get out of the sport, so I managed to get a few of my sponsors together and some help from my dad and his little business, and we bought all Nick's equipment off him. So we were in the process of setting up on our own with Dan as my passenger again, and then Robin Croft from SMT have stood in and said he would be keen to run a sidecar, so we've got involved with them, and so yeah, it'll be good really. First time that a sidecar's probably been at the TT with a fully professional team, where me and Dan will just be able to concentrate on keeping ourselves in top shape, and the bike will be prepared for us, and we're going to just turn up and ride it. So we're really quite looking forward to it.
There's certainly got to be one aim, really, top step. Achievable this year?
Yeah, I've said it the last couple of years, but honestly now, after last year's second race where we led for 2.5 laps, and it was only a minor gearbox issue that sort of denied us of their first win, really. But I think this year, I know now as a rider that I know where I'm going. I know that I'm fast enough to have a race with Mr. Molyneux, and I think it'll be good. I think we're starting off behind him. I honestly believe that we can have a real good battle with him now, and hopefully we can I can take my first win and give Dan another one to add to his collection.
And well, you just mentioned the starting order there. Happy with where you are?
I'd like to have gone off number 2, really. To be fair, I'd like to have started right behind Dave, and I'm a racer. I'm a real good racer. I like a battle, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If I'm racing with someone, I can normally do what you need to do to win. But it's different when you're on your own and you're trying to catch someone. If you can't see them, it doesn't give you. You need. I don't need someone to chase, but obviously it makes the job a little bit easier. But yeah, it'll be good. I'm sure. I'm just looking forward to it.
And Dan, you've been on the top step of the podium a few times before. What about this guy? Are you confident you'll get there with him?
Yeah, I mean, you only got to look at it last year, like you're saying, didn't we? We've proved that we can get ourselves up there. It's always reliability. You need to get there at the end of the day, and you can never allow for that. So yeah, no, I'm quietly confident that we can get it up there, but you never know whatever comes on the day, don't you?
Riding with the Milwaukee Yamaha team, run with Sean Muir, Conor Cummins teammate, and the plans to do 3 internationals, Northwest TT and Ulster, and hopefully get a couple of international wins.
And obviously the aim there is get on the podium. The Yamaha, you've not been riding Yamaha recently. Is a good package for the mountain course?
It's sort of unproven at the minute, I suppose, with the superbike, but it's certainly capable of winning any race, whether it's circuit or road racing. And I have experience with the R6 with Chris Dowd, and Michael's obviously won TTs on it, so it's definitely not out of the way to beat Honda, and it's every bit as good a bike, I would say.
And you're also sort of shifting the focus a bit to the short circuits. Is that a sort of strategic move, that where you see your career going, or are you still staying focused on the roads?
My main focus is obviously the TT. Like anyone that does it, it's the TT, but it's just something to get me up to speed as we missed out in testing and bits and pieces. So it's something I would like to do, but I have to be honest with myself, I'm probably not good enough for it. So TT's where I'm aiming for.
And if you had to sort of, obviously there's such a depth of experience and talent at the TT nowadays, but if you had to pick a couple of guys who you would say you were really gunning for, or who are gunning for you, who would you say your main sort of rivals are here?
To be honest, probably the brother as the main one, like everyone says, but when it comes to 600, he's the only man in the class if he finishes, so if he finishes it's going to be hard work. And you've obviously got John and I think Michael again in the superbike, so I think on the day if there's a few other riders if they decide to go, so you can't rely on anyone at the end of the day, but it's going to be hard racing no matter what.